From the Middle is a founding member of Odd Pods Media. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to episode number 314 of From the Middle. We are three middle class guys living in the middle of America in the middle chapters of our lives with points of view somewhere in the middle. Speaking of in the middle, what would happen if some people stood in the middle of your view while you were at a sporting event? We talk about that. We have some drive-through etiquette questions. We talk a little bit about Kory's 5K race. He was in the middle of the pack there, and a little bit about what we're watching. We think you'll like this episode. Check it out.
Oh, for the love. Sorry, just clearing my Mountain Dew hole.
I got my phone hole cleaned today.
That's where you keep it? You're so cerebral and you're so developed and evolved.
From the Middle after dark over here.
Hey, over here. Look up here. Look up here.
No, sure. Oh, there she is.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's our Stormy bird.
Very cool.
Super pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty bird.
Is the word majestic? Is that too much?
Yes, that's way too much.
Too much. We're not talking about bald eagles. What's the right word?
I don't know.
How would you describe it? It's a parakeet?
This is a cockatiel.
Cockatiel. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Like the color teal?
A cinnamon cockatiel.
Cinnamon cockatiel.
Cinnamon white face cockatiel. Yeah.
Cinnamon white face. Now I feel like I'm at Starbucks ordering a drink. What do you call, what's the appropriate, other than just the Dumb and Dumber pretty bird, what's the appropriate way to describe? Majestic is too strong. How do we describe her? She's very pretty.
Pretty works.
I'm trying to avoid the pretty bird.
Handsome.
Yeah.
She's a handsome girl.
There's got to be
Resplendent.
Resplendent.
Resplendent. Resplendent.
Mm.
Graceful, majestic, iridescent, and vibrant.
Mm.
Striking.
So anyway, this is you see, she doesn't want to leave. There she goes. There you go.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Bye. Bye, Birdie.
All right, guys. Will you close the door on your way out?
Striking little
Thank you.
graceful thing. Graceful. Is that a good word?
Sure. She is, compared to our other bird, she is graceful. This one has grown up learning and knowing how to fly and has therefore gotten better at it. The other one is we adopted her and spent all of her life with her wings clipped, and then we don't clip them. And so she can fly and sometimes tries to, but she's an old bird trying to learn new tricks and it's not working out very well. So
yeah,
it's more of a crash. She flies and crashes.
Maybe graceful, not the right word.
And then doesn't try again, just like sits there and waits for you to come pick her up and put her back on her cage.
Yeah, maybe not graceful then.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Speaking of
something.
Speaking of old birds trying to learn new tricks, did you guys know I'm an athlete?
There you are. Yeah.
Did it.
I'm a 5K finisher, y'all.
You're still with us, man.
I'm still with us. I can't wait to tell you guys about this event. So you guys know I'm not a fan of running, but my family is. We did the hot chocolate 5K. There's also a 10 and a 15K. We did the 5K. This is a national, more of an experience race. You're racing for a cup of hot chocolate that sits inside of a big recyclable paper bowl. And one little section of that bowl is melted like fondue chocolate. And then you get pretzels, Oreos, a banana, a Rice Krispie treat to dip into the fondue chocolate. And I had not done any sort of conditioning or anything whatsoever. Sherry had gotten herself up to the point where she was, without stopping, running 3.1 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe just finished a cross country season and was training her little brother. And they're like, Dad won't do it. And I had planned on getting at least some elliptical time in, did not.
Yeah.
So, day of the race, we have to get up at 6, drive down to downtown Columbus, where they are going to close off most of the streets at 7. So, if you want to get to a parking garage, you better do it before 7 because everything's going to get shut down on the minute. We were warned. There's 15 to 20,000 people that participate in the Columbus Hot Chocolate 5K. So we park, we get to our corrals. Apparently that's what they're called. You run in groups of people. This is all new to me, guys. And so
it
we're
would be
there.
to me too, my friend.
So we're there. We meet our nephew in Corral D, where we started the race. And I still, at this point, I'm at the start line and I don't know what my strategy is. Because originally I said, I'll just do like a fast walk, is just below power walking,
Yeah.
and see how much jogging I can do. But then Sherry was like, do you want one of my earbuds? Do you want to try to stay together? And I was like, no, you've warmed up. You're ready to run the full distance without stopping. I'm only going to hold you back. Don't wait on me. She wasn't trying to get a PR, but I was like, you don't want to wait. I don't know how much I'm going to walk this thing, right? So she's like, no, what? You're going to go without me? Let's just stick together. So I'm like, so literally for the sake of the fact that I had one of her earbuds, I decided I'll at least start running at a very slow jog.
Okay.
And see how far I get. So they're like, all right, Corral D, you're ready in 10, 9. And I'm still like, okay, I guess we're doing this. So we start jogging. And I'm like, okay. I honestly couldn't even have guessed how this was going to go. You're like, you think you know yourself and your physical state, and then you go and do something like Top Golf and you're sore for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's been a long winter and that first mow in the spring, you're like, wow, my back really hurts, right? Like you do different things and different things hurt. So we start jogging. And I'd say in the first quarter mile, my right calf starts to lock up. And I'm like, oh no, this is not good. But I don't say anything. And I just keep lightly jogging. And it's like the muscles, if you're watching on YouTube, they just go like, they just like tighten up. And Sherry goes, oh no, my shoe's untied. So I was like, well, let's stop. So we pull off to the sidewalk. And while she's tying her shoe, I like stretch my leg against a light pole and get back at it. Half mile, 3/4 of a mile, 1 mile in, and we haven't stopped jogging. And
wow.
I'm shocked that I've even lasted a mile. Lightly jog. I'm legitimately surprised. And so I'm like, okay. Then at the end of a mile, Sherry's in her Bose earbuds. She's got a race, like a running app that tells her our average pace. And the thing is like 13-minute mile. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, she looks at me like, we shouldn't keep up this pace. Like, because I don't know when you're going to like die on me. And this is fast for even me, who's been not fast, but that's like toward the top of like pushing it for even me, who's been training. And I'm like, well, I'm feeling okay. So we go 1.5 miles. And then I'm like, all right, I'm just going to walk just a little bit. She again was like, we're going a little too fast. So I was like, we walk for a little bit. Anyway,
By the way, are you feeling any pressure from the people around you? Like, is that kind of propelling you forward a little? Or have you totally blocked everyone out but you and Sherry?
Where are you amongst the pack? Your corral.
our corral, we're like the middle back of it. But
Okay.
then the corral behind us, their fastest runners are passing us.
Okay.
So you don't know really. You've lost all sense. To your question, Dylan, I think it actually energized me because there's so many people cheering and having fun. This is 15 to 20,000 people at 7:30 in the morning in downtown Columbus. It's like and they've got music blasting at the start line. It's like,
Mhm.
and then other people who have gone before us, it gets to a point in the course where they're going the opposite direction of us. They're in a different grouping entirely. So they've like doubled back. The course is doubled back and they're going against the grain. And I start like high-fiving the people going the other way, like, yeah, we got this. So I was actually energized um by the whole sight of all of it. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not becoming a runner, am I? No, surely this can't be happening. So anyway, we get to the 2 mile mark. Do another little small walk. And then there's one final hill before you make the last turn to go down right by Nationwide Boulevard where the finish line is. And that incline was a bit much, so we walked right at the top of that. And she's like, all right, let's save the rest. So we stayed together this whole time. She's like, let's save the rest for the end. And so we go around the corner and there's like 2/10 of a mile and I sprint it and Naruto run across the finish line with my arms behind me.
Uh,
So she did the math and we finished in 42 minutes, which averages out to be about a 13-minute some second mile, maybe 15, 20-second mile. I don't know the math on that. And like, it was a pretty decent time. And I legitimately thought I'm mostly walking this thing with an occasional jog. Um, you guys know that in the past I've gotten into something and gone way too hard in the paint about it and become all about it. I will not become a runner. I assure you that.
It's not in the cards. Okay.
I have confirmed this is not something I want to make a
We'll see.
habit. But I do get being energized by the others participating and the crowd, especially as you near the finish line. People are going wild, cheering for you, and it's just a really fun atmosphere. There's music playing and all the things. I will also say this was a run for chocolate. So,
Sure.
so your typical diehard,
Yeah. Chocolate awareness.
Mhm.
Happy Chocolate Awareness Month.
yeah, your typical diehard wearing all the proper gear, training for the Boston Marathon, folks. This race, let's just say, is very inclusive to all types of folks who would like to run for chocolate as a prize.
Right.
But it was more fun than I thought it would be. Did confirm that it's not my thing, but I get a little more why people like it.
So, a couple of questions. Well, one of them is just a comment that I can totally picture you getting into running, and in my head, Kory getting into running is still the flannel shirt and Air Force Ones, totally inappropriate. With a crisp hat similar to your Kraken hat that you're wearing right now. And so kind of like normal Kory, with the exception of really short running shorts, with the flannel shirt open and flapping around with the short running shorts and the and the J1 high tops. So
Nice.
I don't know, you should caricature yourself there.
All
I think
right,
there's
got
an
it.
opportunity for you. And then a question. So this was a 5K, which are designed, like 5Ks are designed to be fun, right?
Yep.
They're non-competitive, generally speaking. That said, Would you see yourself not getting into running, not being a runner, but maybe getting into doing 5Ks?
No, I don't think so. I I don't love waking up early for things I don't love.
Hmm.
I don't like fussing with parking for things I don't love.
Mhm.
And I really, really, really don't like running. I mean, I really don't like it. I like social things.
Mm-hmm.
I like high energy things.
Okay.
I like things that are an experience. And I
Yeah.
love doing things once.
That's there you go.
So like those parts I liked about it. I can say that I did. Even like later in the day, I said something like, I ran a 5K. Tied to something else. And Sherry's like, oh no, is that going to be your thing now?
It's the thing. It's like is it the Jim Gaffigan with the reading a book thing? You have to figure out, you read a book so infrequently that when you read one, you have to figure out how to fit it into a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. Um, we got some really funny texts from Jonathan over at Grab 'em in the Brisket, and I absolutely should have filmed more of it. Any of it. We did get some pictures, but yeah, it was fun running with Cher. She's an inspiration because she like legitimately works at it and like is really thoughtful about pace and knows her time and like finished like really well in her age group and so yeah, but it was fun. It was something different. The chocolate was great. I rang the PR bell.
There you go.
That's-
So yeah, did not die. Very surprised. Very surprised. Super sore the next day.
Yeah, sure. A quick Google search says, based on the size of that, if everyone was getting an 8-ounce cup of hot chocolate, they would need about 1,000 gallons of hot chocolate. So
Wow.
that's a lot of hot chocolate. Also, the chocolate was good, but once you had done it, was there anything else you would have rather had at the finish line other than maybe just water or Gatorade?
Oh, good question.
If it had been a themed, anything else themed where you could have picked the thing waiting for you at the end,
What would draw you to another 5K?
what would you have picked at the end? It could even be several things. It could be like hot dogs and chili fries.
Oof. Honestly, just warm liquid was the best thing because it was chilly and ridiculously windy. So any warm beverage would be great other than hot chocolate. Uh, I don't have a fun answer. This is where I feel like you guys would thrive with like really solid answers about.
Keep thinking about it. I did one 5K ever, and the only reason it sounded remotely decent, the running sounded awful, but it was like a nighttime glow run. So
Mm,
it won't be middle of the day or early hot, like starting to get humid, nighttime, cooler. It was, and I think it was fall. I don't remember, but that was like, that's about the only way to sell this to me. There's like a fun element to it, and it's cool. Okay, I'll try it.
donuts or cake.
Mm.
Which it worked out really well because we had a Hubble family get together that day. By the way, I have to describe at some point the 48 hours leading up to this 5K because it was nuttier than squirrel turds. But anyway, we had a Hubble family get together and we played a fun little game where you pair up with somebody and you tie donuts from strings
Yeah.
and you got to keep your hands behind your back and get the donut off of the string. It does not say eat the donut. It just says get the donut off of the string. I thought the game was eat the donut. And even if the game wasn't eat the donut, I would have eaten the donut.
I can't think of a better way to get a donut off a string.
Straight off
So-
that string and into my belly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So some
Yeah.
people on a technicality just tried to like pull it off the string or take bites and spit them out. And I'm like, what are we doing? Why would a person lose the game? Eat the donut.
Yeah, that's not in the spirit of the thing.
So anyway, I did end up post race getting a glazed donut that was delightful. Thanks, Mom and Dad. That was a fun game. So yeah, kind of a fun story.
Very good.
So next time, hot cider and donuts.
That's right.
Mm.
Chloe and Case were waiting on Sherry and I at the finish line. That was really cute. Sherry's sister and 2 nephews and a girlfriend ran. Yeah, it's a fun time.
Cool. Well, so I had a couple of interesting things. One of them I'll hit quick, just because I got a chuckle out of it. So I'm in the McDonald's drive-thru for breakfast with the kids. Amy's been out of town, and that's how Dad does breakfast with the kids when that happens. And we go through the drive-thru. I order through the app ahead of time, and then go through, pull up to the speaker, say, "Hey, I have a mobile order for Kendall." She says, "Okay, pull around." So the pull around, and like I never quite know what to do at that first window. I usually just stop and wave, and usually the other person is like, "Yeah, you're the mobile order guy. Keep going." Sometimes they open it up, and then other times they're like not paying any attention. And so like I stop and I'm looking, and then if they're not paying attention these days, especially at this McDonald's, like I just keep going, right? So then I get up to the pickup thing, and she gives me a total like $5.44. I'm like, no. I was a mobile order. She's like, oh, okay. So then she goes to hand me a drink, which is not any part of our order. I'm like, oh, no, this is not it. It's for Kendall. And she looks at her screen, and then she looks at me, and she starts copping an attitude. And she's like, did you stop by the window? And I'm like, well, no, usually I just drive forward. And she's like, what order did you have? And I told her the order, and she's like, and then she looked at me. She's still like angry with me. She's like, I don't think you stopped by the speaker. And I'm like, first of all, in my head, when she said that, I'm like, you don't know who you're talking to. If you knew who I was, you would know. Drive-through etiquette. We have a club. All right. But I was like, no. And then I was just like, but I was still kind of like perturbed at like her attitude toward me in this whole thing. And like the way she accused me, like that's how she said it. I don't think you stopped by the speaker. And I said, no, I stopped by the speaker, told them I had a mobile order, gave them my name. They said, pull around. Here I am.
You're like, wrong window. That can be debated. Speaker, that cannot be debated.
Yeah. And so then I said, I mean, it's possible that like you guys heard me wrong or something like that. Like could be a mistake in that way, but I definitely stopped by a speaker. And then everything went okay from there. She got the order and whatever. And then it was fine. But
the attitude,
the out of bounds attitude mixed with the thought of like, I'm semi-professional at this. I don't know what to tell you.
I just imagined that the little speaker thing, like there was just like some homeless guy sitting behind the sign, just talking to people that pulled up.
Yeah.
Thought it was like a speaker. Like, what do you need? And it's just like some guy,
like that's
some guy hanging out in a bush behind.
That's the other thing. Like, are people skipping the speaker? Is that a thing? Are they like? I have never once seen somebody try to cut in post speaker into a drive-through lane.
That's a pretty critical step in the drive-through ordering process.
Yeah, like, I don't think you stopped by the speaker. Like, you think that that's more likely than somebody like misheard my name and maybe got an order for Kevin or something? Like, I don't know. It was just.
Did they think that like you're just trying to bypass the line by going straight around, and you just hope that if you pull up and say my name here's my name, I need my order, that like you'll
maybe that's what faster. They think is that they think that maybe I don't know what the protocol is, and like I just can like merge in wherever, and since I ordered online. But again, she doesn't know who she's talking to.
Lady, we've been doing this since Ray Kroc. You know what I mean? This is new. We've all been doing this for decades. You know?
I'm still confused about the purpose of the first window. Like, why did you need to stop there? Or why was stopping or not stopping there problematic?
I don't know. I don't know that either.
What do they do at the first window?
Yeah, because usually they just like they don't even open the window. They just like smile and wave and move you along when they recognize that you're the mobile order. They just send you.
Hmm.
I have a first window and drive-through etiquette question that's unrelated to this.
Yeah.
So I guess it took me a while. I like to use mobile pay with my Apple Watch, tap to pay, things like that. I try to use it more and more. I like the convenience. I like I'm not a small guy. I'm sitting on my wallet. I got to get my wallet out of my butt pocket while I'm in the car, and a drive-through is not always convenient, especially if you have a coat on or layers, whatever. So I'm trying to do the whole, like, you pull up to the first thing and I just say, do you take Apple Pay, or can I tap to pay? And most people grab the thing, like the credit card thing that they would normally swipe it, and they have a long enough cord to hold it out the window. I tap with my watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have adjusted to the technology.
They've adjusted to the technology. No one ever seems annoyed, but it does always feel like there's a slight pause with tap to pay. Either they're annoyed because they have to get the thing and hold it out the window, or it just takes them a minute to like register, oh, I got to do a different thing. And I do, surprisingly, probably I don't want to exaggerate, 1 out of every 20 times I do it, somebody will go, oh, I've never seen somebody do that with their watch. They're used to people just like tapping with the card. I don't know. Does it still feel too soon? Like, is the tap to pay thing really just like an indoor game? Should I only be doing that if I'm indoors, or like they've got the cord on the thing, it's long enough, they can reach, it's not a big deal. Part of me feels a little bad, and then part of me thinks if insert company didn't want you to do this, they wouldn't let you do it and give you a cord long enough to do it. Like, I feel a little bad is what I'm saying. There's a tiny bit of guilt. Maybe I'm making this harder and I should just hand him my card.
For every one of you that there are going ahead with what is supposed to be more convenient, it forces them to get with the program and realize more and more people are paying with watches in their phones.
It's so convenient. It's like double tap on the watch button and it just holds your arm. It's like, here, take it. Take the payment. It's right there. Just shove the box up to my watch. And it's so nice.
I think Kory's point is be the change you want to see in the world, Dylan.
Okay. Right. So don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad. The fact that most of them have the long enough cord, I think, tells you that you're in the right spot.
Yeah.
And the rest of them will catch up eventually.
Okay.
The second one, and this one really bugged me. So Joel is doing indoor soccer and games on weekends, and the place that we go for indoor soccer, they have 2 soccer fields kind of in this same barn, and they're kind of end to end, and and then there's bleachers up against one wall where you can see, and the aisleway to get through is in between the plexiglass wall of the indoor soccer arena and the bleachers, right? And so you understand that when you're sitting there, there's going to be people who are heading to another field, or their game is over or whatever. There's going to be some traffic there, and that is okay. For the most part, that's not happening. And so while you're sitting there in the bleachers, everybody's back there in the bleachers, and this hasn't been a problem. We've been to like 4 or 5 games now. This particular game last weekend, there were 2 guys who felt like they needed to stand at the plexiglass to watch the game. And they were right in the middle, which means that the bleachers on either side, like the bleachers are not tall enough to see over people standing. Like if you're on the left side of the field and the play is happening to the right of you, you can't see it because of these 2 guys. Nobody can on this side. A couple of people made comments there's a lady right next to me who's getting like really mad, and she like shouted a couple times at the guys just from her seat, like, I can't see. And like our team scored a goal. She's like, I would have been able to see it if it wasn't for you. And he's just like ignoring or whatever. And
Ignoring,
so, like,
or didn't he like choosing to not hear, or legitimately not hearing?
he glanced at her and then just kept like, and there's, and I'll say this, there was a language barrier there with both of these guys. One of them was older, like he was like maybe in his 50s. The other one was more like our age. And
so like way younger then.
Yeah, way younger.
Yeah, way younger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know, people were like motioning them to move back or whatever. And the one guy just like pointed right here as if to say, I ain't moving. Right.
Yeah.
And so nobody had yet to go up to these guys. And so I go up to these guys.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
I didn't do the thing. Like, I'm still trying to just like save the day. Right. And so like I go up and I try to calmly tell the guys. Now, I don't know how much of the verbiage is being understood.
Fair.
But I say, hey, people on both sides can't see because you guys are standing here. Why don't you just scoot back like everybody else? And the older guy said, I'm going to stand here, essentially is what he had said. The word stand and the word here was in his sentence somewhere. And that was it. And so then, like, I decided, okay, so now the play was happening to the left of him. So I got just to the left of him and stood like well within his personal space on purpose so that he had to look around me. And I don't know what I like. That was just like a knee jerk reaction that like, this is what I'm going to do now.
I'm so invested in this story.
But the problem is when I did that, there was then another guy who came up who was not in the bleachers that I was sitting in. And so I don't know if he understood or saw or what I was trying to do here. He then came up and said, hey guys, can we all scoot back? And so then like I turned around and hopefully to be their leader now, be like, oh, okay, sorry, sir. And then like started to scoot back and I'm like motioning to the guys like, come on, let's all just go back. And they didn't, they refused to. And so then I gave up and went and sat down. And as we were walking back out, like I'm walking right past this guy and I just kind of tap him on the shoulder. I'm like, you were being ridiculous. Told him that. And then he goes, oh, really? And then as I'm walking away, I hear him shout in my direction, like, I'll see you next time or something like that.
Wow.
That was that situation. How would you handle that? I'm usually a non-confrontational person, but like the way that these guys were treating everyone else, like it was the perfect storm of what we talk about, people getting in other people's way. And we're usually giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're being oblivious. Kory last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, said, and then there's the ones who just on purpose walk down the middle of the parking lanes. And like there was absolute confirmation that these guys knew that they were proverbially walking down the parking lanes and made it known that they did not care. And I mean, I didn't get physical with anybody. I obviously wasn't going to. I didn't shout at anyone. I didn't want anything to escalate. But like, I felt like I was in a position, like, I'm not afraid of most people. Like, I don't know. What do you do?
I guess it's just so wild. Like you just gave the breakdown, right? Something occurs. Most people, we give the benefit of the doubt. They're just being aloof. They're not paying attention. Some are paying attention and are doing it intentionally. That's a super small number, you have to imagine. Mm-hmm. Like the people out there in the world that just want to see it burn, who are like on purpose walking down the center of like the fact that there are those people, that's my inkling, and I know that it's wrong, but the fact that that's so mind-boggling. To go a step further, there are people who are doing it and then being confronted and still going, nope, ate moving is such an even smaller piece of the pie that I think I would have just done one of the like to like everybody else around me to try to get, because I would be so shocked that that was their posture, literally
Yeah.
and figuratively.
I mean, by the time I walked over there, like 3 people from their seats had like
Right.
first asked the guys to move and then like yelled and then started making snide remarks when something happened that they missed. There were a few
Passive-aggressive
people
in
from
true-
both sides doing that.
Yeah.
That they were hearing and definitely understanding. It just,
You're like, because
It
you're
irked
like,
me.
I at least had the decency to come up here and calmly talk to you and explain in simple terms why people were frustrated and not be passive aggressive.
right.
You're like, I'm trying to be the bridge here between the angry people back here and you jackwagons up here.
Yeah.
So to have that respect met with disrespect feels like, come on. I probably would have done some sarcastic stuff back and forth on the way back to my seat. Like he did to you, I would have matched it. And then it probably would have escalated.
Well, that was after the game, right? So like I
Okay.
went back to the seat and finished off the game. And then as we were all walking away,
after.
walked
Gotcha.
by him, I told him he was being ridiculous. And then that's when he shouted at me when I was like
Oof.
15 yards away from him at that point.
That's so annoying. Oh, that
the kind of
touches.
thing, the kind of thing that you want to say that like cuts deep enough to hopefully make a point is also the thing that probably escalates it unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the thing I'd want to say, I'd be like, I'm too concerned. The thing I'd really want to say is going to make this way worse. Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be worth it for me to be like, come on, man. Because that's not going to, no one's going to rethink their decisions because you went, come on, man. But like something that you want to say, you're a child. This is how a child behaves, or something where you're like really trying to like make a point to get, through to them.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of thing where it's like, they're throwing fisticuffs. You know what I mean?
I wish that the other guy wouldn't have come up to like move us back right away, because I would have liked to see my little plan play out. See what happened there.
Yeah. Gosh. Well,
So he could have tasted his own medicine.
It obviously wouldn't have worked, but
man. Well, it's a good question. I certainly wouldn't have done even probably what you did. So you already did more than I would.
Yeah, I'm over here like, you're a hero, Kendall.
well,
You inspire us all.
I don't know about that.
I think about what Pete Corielli would have done. It would not have gone that well. I just started listening to those guys again. It's been a minute. Anyway, wow, that's wild to me.
Well, that does feel like a really good spot to take a quick break and hear from some of our friends in Odd Pods Media.
Greetings, fellow nerds. It's Garrett, your host of the Nodak Nerd, part of Odd Pods Media, the podcast where we explore the vast realms of geekdom. From the latest superhero flicks to retro video games and everything in between, we've got you covered. Join me for insightful reviews, hilarious discussions, and maybe even a few heated debates. Find the Nodak Nerd wherever you listen to podcasts. Let's get nerdy.
Each of us identify with one of the Golden Girls. I'm Sophia, Aaron is Dorothy, Kristen is Sweet Rose, and each week we'll have a guest sit in the Blanche spot, the naughty seat. Come join us on the lanai for some cheesecake.
Part of the Odd Pods Media Network.
I don't know if we're getting into streaming and watching things yet.
Fire it up.
But I do have a podcast recommendation that I've come across. Bert Kreischer, who, I mean, I think he's funny sometimes, but he's kind of like a one-trick pony kind of guy, right? And then I feel like when he gets like too much in the momentum, it starts going a direction that's like, okay, this is getting kind of gross. I'm not interested in you all that much. So I wouldn't consider myself a Bert Kreischer fan. However, he has this apparently a couple of different podcasts, which doesn't surprise me. But I came across on YouTube the one called Something's Burning, which I had no idea. Apparently, it's been around for a while. But the one specifically that popped up that I was watching was he was with Sean Evans and Gabriel Iglesias. And for those of you who don't know, Kory already seems aware of this. The premise of this thing is, I love it. Like so it's like taking place in like Bert Kreischer's kitchen, what seems to be his home. And he is cooking up a dish that has something to do with whoever his guests are. And then they're just talking and chatting while he's cooking. So you're watching him cook. He's giving some cooking instructions on what he's making, and he's cooking for these two guests, and they're talking. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, I don't know if it's because Sean Evans was there, and like there was a point where like Bert had to like get down to business with that he was doing. And so he's like, Sean, do you mind just taking over the interview? And then it became like a Sean Evans interview, which is always amazing. So I don't know. I was watching this and I was like, I could listen to this Bert Kreischer. Like, I like this Bert Kreischer. It's still funny. It was real. They were talking about some things. I realized that I have some things in common with Bert Kreischer on a psychological level, with awkwardness and weirdness. And these are the thoughts that I have when I'm talking to people. These are the things that I'm worried about, what I do or don't do. And because he's just like asking Sean Evans about this, like, how do you talk to people the way you talk to people? Because here's why I can't do that. And so like, it could have been just the episode that I was a big fan of, because I felt like Bert Kreischer of all people was speaking to my soul and putting my feelings into words. Which I don't know that anybody's ever said that about Bert Kreischer before. But it was funny. It was a good listen. It made me think. And I got to see him cook, which I love cooking shows. So
I'm so glad that you discovered that. I've seen it. I've not seen that specific episode. I'm going to go watch it. But I've seen it with other comedians, obviously with Bobby Lee and other folks that I follow. I think that show does such a perfect job of the mood, and the vibe is sort of like you go over to your friend's house for just a family on family dinner party, and they're finishing up something like a dish, or like, and you're interested. Oh, what are you finishing up? There's like that little bit of like, they're explaining the dish and you just got there and you're making some small talk, but then you really get into being silly and having a good time and laughing. That show, podcast, whatever, perfectly encapsulates that sort of like spirit, because it feels like they pretty much start recording right when the guest gets there, and that there's not a lot of like warm up time or pre-talk, because there's also the dish to prepare. So it's time sensitive. And I'm sure they're cutting out a lot. But then it's not about the food per se. It's not a true pure. He is giving tips, and some of the dishes do look really good. And he'll make a special drink for the person as well sometimes. But yeah, you've described it perfectly. It's really, really fun.
Out of curiosity, what was he making for Sean?
So for Sean and Gabriel, he was making fluffy pancakes, and with a Nashville hot fried steak, country fried steak.
I feel like he could have done fluffy waffles, fluffy chicken and waffles. Like,
oh, there you go.
Yeah,
like a spicy hot wing chicken sauce.
He did say that he didn't necessarily want to go like the crazy hot route, because that was too much on the nose for Sean Evans. And so he went with the fried steak, but it was Nashville hot.
Yeah.
Sauce all over it.
I mean, do you think Sean Evans is mad that people just call him chicken guy out places? Like, that's a chicken wing guy. That's a thing.
That's the thing about Sean Evans. Maybe, but you'll never know.
No, I think if anything, there's got to be times where he thinks, I can't believe I'm this popular from doing this thing. Probably, that's got to be a thought he has sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he was popular from one blockbuster. It's not like he was in Transformers, the movie, and then is just known for that role forever. It's like a web interview, hot wing eating show. It's not like, it's really interesting. But I like Gabriel Iglesias too, so that's great.
Yeah,
Can you guys see that, or does it black it out?
No, we can see it.
Okay, cool. So viewers of our YouTube channel are getting a sense of what the show is like.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It looks paused to me, but I can see the screen itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was playing it, so it must have stopped it. All right, cool.
Nice.
Fun times.
Something's burning.
That's what I got. What do you guys got?
So Sherry had been waiting to watch a documentary about last season's Ohio State Buckeye football team called Redemption. It is a 3-episode documentary specifically about one subset of players who were very open about their faith and led a couple. They called them revivals, but really it was just opportunities for them to share their testimonies. And they tried to be really thoughtful about when they did it. So for the first one, they chose move-in day for the freshmen and got a stage and some speakers and a worship band, and just shared their story. It wasn't heavy-handed. It wasn't Bible thumpy. It was just, hey, you want to hear from some Ohio State football players and let them share their story and their testimony? And they did. And then they ended up baptizing like a ton of people. And that kind of got public. A bunch of news networks covered it. And it really just covers the faith of not the entire team, obviously, but a good number of that year's team and what their faith meant to them during that season when they were tested. An early loss to Oregon, losing to Michigan in the game, and then the playoff run, the 4-game playoff run to ultimately win the championship. So it was really, really well done. Reese Davis, Greg Ford, who's the pastor of one church here in Columbus, was in it. A bunch of other athletes from different teams. Tim Tebow, of course. It was really good. If you like college football and are a person of faith, I recommend it. Even if you don't like the Buckeyes, it's a good story. It's on Amazon Prime. You have to do like a 7-day trial of this. It's almost like a service within Prime Video called Wonder Vision. We had to do a 7-day free trial of that, but it was really, really good. So hits very close to home for us for multiple reasons. But yeah, Redemption on Prime Video. Pretty good.
Nice.
I like it. I enjoyed hearing those stories like throughout the season.
Yeah.
About
there was a bunch of podcasts. G. Scott went and preached at one church. Him and Greg Ford, the pastor, became friends. That's where you saw those Jesus Won t-shirts that were not officially sanctioned by the Ohio State University, but was just a really cool thing. So yeah, check it out.
It's awesome.
Cool.
Very, very little going on for me. It's mostly been college football here and there. We've been really busy with some other things. And so nothing new and crazy. We've used YouTube TV a little bit. I am reminded outside of the sports package on YouTube TV, there's very little that I want to watch on any kind of cable equivalent. Like you very much get the people talk about that. Like I pretty much just have cable for sports. No, that's very true. Like I think, I mean, every now and then I'll find stuff on YouTube TV that I'd watch, but I'm like, but I have this, or I subscribe to another app that has this. So some of the features are great. It's awesome for sports, but I just find myself like when there's not a sporting event on I want to watch, I'm just like scroll. Nah, I'm good. Close the app, you know? So it's nice. I'll use it for college football season. I don't think we'll keep it, but I kind of suspected that before the season started. So if you're a sports person, worth trying for the season. We'll see if we keep it any longer than that. But yep, mostly just been watch whatever college football that I can, and nothing else.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Like at previous years, like we had gotten one of the like cable-ish conglomerate streaming services. It's been Sling the past couple of years. For me, for the purpose of getting ESPN, and then like last year, baseball playoffs were heavy on like TNT, I think. something like that. And I was able to use Sling for baseball playoffs. But then this year, baseball playoffs were on like Fox, which the thing that I had on Sling didn't have Fox, and you would have to pay double to get the package that had both Fox and ESPN at the same time. And I wasn't going to do that. But then that's when I found out that Fox Sports and ESPN Plus were combining for their own streaming service. And I did that and dropped Sling. And that has been perfect for me as a sports fan. I was able to watch all of the baseball playoffs and have ESPN. And ESPN Plus has like the lion's share of hockey games right now, which they still have the blackout rules. And so I don't get to watch a whole lot of Blue Jackets games because they're not selling out right now. But as primarily a Red Wings fan, it doesn't matter. So it's all good.
Yeah, I might try that Fox ESPN thing next year for college football season.
Hopefully they'll still do it.
Yeah, see how that works or if it's around. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I know like there's been some more new bundles. You know, Disney's going to phase out Hulu and build Hulu into the Disney Plus app because they own all of Hulu now. And so you've got some like cable channels in there. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. There's a lot going on in too many apps, a dizzying number of apps and places to find things. When you see even sports personalities complaining about how hard it is to find certain things because like this package was sold to CBS and this package of games was sold to NBC and this package was sold to ESPN and this package was like, and then you still have blackouts and you still have, you know, but this one's on Big Ten Network, you know, not the Fox, which is a different, but it's like,
right. Yeah, Big Ten Network is like the one I don't have. And if you live near a big, it doesn't even have to be a big city. You live near a city, like again, just reiterating to everybody out there, buy a $10 antenna and watch the broadcast channels.
Yeah.
Like you get all the broadcast stuff. You don't have to pay for it. Like it's so many people, it seems, forget that that's an option. It's not only an option, it's a really good option.
Yeah.
And so when I'm like, I watch that far more often than I'm streaming anything. And so I'm not worried about getting my local channels through a streaming service.
Right.
I have those for free. So having NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox broadcast plus Fox Sports and ESPN, that gets you almost all of your sports, with the exception of basketball, which is still on TNT and stuff.
Right.
Which would be a problem come March for March Madness. But for now, it's working.
Have you guys heard about VBox streamers?
No.
I have a friend who I will not name, but he's like, yeah, have you guys heard of this thing called VBox? He's like, it's got like every streaming service and everything's free.
Doesn't sound legit. It doesn't sound legal. I'll put it that way.
So the best I can tell based on how he described it, his son acquired one and it looks like any of these other DVR-esque boxes, but are basically jailbroke, I'm guessing. And I'm like, but when you log into these apps, are you seeing like pre-filled in login credentials? He's like, I don't know. Everything just works. So he's like, you guys should get a VBox streamer.
This is the equivalent of the Seinfeld episode where Jerry's trying to get the cable guy to come do the thing. Like it hasn't really changed. It's the same situation with a different technology platform, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, so that's the best I could. He's like, it's got everything: Disney and Apple and HBO and Netflix and Hulu and all the things. I'm like, I bet it does.
I'm sure it does.
Where did he get this?
He doesn't even know where his son got it. He's just like, yeah, he brings it over and we watch whatever we want whenever we want. It's great.
I bet you do.
Oh boy.
I'm like, you might want to get like what's the IP thing called? A VPN.
Yeah, a VPN.
Before I forget, season 2 of Squid Game, The Challenge, not the drama, The Challenge, the reality show based on the game where they give away $4.56 million. Season finale drops tonight. Gonna watch it after I click out of this call with you guys. So that's been really fun. The production quality of this show is at the level of the drama, the Korean drama. It's so good. Sherry and Chloe walked in on me watching one of the games that was so tense that I had like a blanket up to my, and they were literally just around a circle seeing who was voting them off. Nothing like crazy or gory was happening, and they got little ink packets on the underneath their shirts that burst when they're getting killed. So it's like black ink. Squid Game, get it? See what they did there? But yeah, that's been really fun too. And speaking of Buckeyes, before I forget, I had my last gig of the year last week. I went to Seattle. On my flight out, this 7-foot guy enters the boarding area, and at the quickest glance, it looked like an older version of LeBron James. So you're doing that thing where you're like, all right, very, very tall, athletic, African-American man. He's 7 foot tall. And I'm like, it's not LeBron, but it looks like LeBron. And now when I tell you who it is, there are like jokes online that this athlete looks like like he could be LeBron James's father. It's Greg Oden, who played at Ohio State and then went to the Trailblazers, injuries like he struggled with. And then I think he finished up with the Heat. So Greg Oden is on the plane in front of me, but I didn't figure it out until I was boarding right behind him. And he scans his boarding pass, and they're like, "Welcome, Mr. Oden," because they say your last name now. And I'm like, "That's who it is."
Welcome, Mr. Oden, and then like 5 people in line behind were like,
"Yeah, oh, yeah." And then this sweet little old lady goes, "Who is that?" And I go, "It's a basketball player," thinking she's not even going to know if I say the name. She's like, "Yeah, but who is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Greg Oden. He played at Ohio State for a year and then went to the pros." She's like, oh, "Okay." So before we even get in the plane, before he has to like bend himself in half and get onto the plane, people are stopping him to take pictures and the whole nine. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to be that guy. But he sits down and I just say, "Hey, man, I'm not going to be that guy, but I do want to just dap you up and say, hey, it's nice to meet you. Have a good flight." So that was fun. I got to see him on an airplane. His head almost touched the overhead bins even while seated. And then got to go to another Kraken game from the box, which was really fun. Had a crazy trip back that I won't get into. Tried to take a red eye, leaving at 11:30, an hour and 45 minutes late, leaving Seattle. Oof. Which meant you missed the connection in Chicago, which meant you grabbed the next Chicago to Columbus flight 4 hours later, come home, shower, go to my stepdad's 60th birthday party, drive back from that, do a 5K, and then a family get together. So it was a very, very packed weekend. And I was like, hey, I'm legitimately super excited about each of these things. I'm so excited to like lean in and fully be present for each of these. The fact that they're almost overlapping all in 48 hours is a little much.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things. But it was really fun. It will be a memorable weekend for years to come. But yeah, that was fun. Seeing Greg Oden go into another Kraken game, a regular season game. The first game I got to go to was a preseason game. They played the Winnipeg Jets and won 5-3. So that was really fun. So, yep, good times. Good to be back with you all, and good to be back with you, Middlers. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. This feels like a great time to wrap up, so I'm just going to do it. Thank you to our partners, Artiest Man. We really appreciate your business and your partnership. If you want to fill your cart for this holiday season with amazing men's grooming products, we highly recommend that you go over there. All of the stuff is made just a few miles from where I sit right now by a really cool guy. They use all natural ingredients. It's really, really good. The scents are amazing. Skincare, shampoos, conditioners, body washes, oils, balms for your beard. It's really good stuff. Check it out. Fill up your cart at artiestman.com. Use promo code THEMIDDLE, all one word, all caps, in the promo box at checkout to receive a whopping 25% off your order. You'll be glad you did. We'll be glad you did. And you will be so excited to know that you supported a local business. Anything else, boys?
No, sir.
All right. We will see you all next time on From the Middle.
Toodles.